Christmas is 1 month away, but guess what, guys? Did it come early with this episode of Raw? No, it was the first ever episode of Raw that we did a watch along for. And I say did a watch along for, it's not like I stayed up last night and watched it for 2 hours. No, earlier on today I did a 20 odd minute stream, and yeah, I watched the highlights and all that good stuff, and a few other clips. I watched a few clips beforehand in full depth, but yeah. So what does this mean for Monday Night Raw? Did it come early, or was it simply just depressing? I'll tell you what it was, folks. It was absolutely mint. I thought there was a few things that were alright, but it's like going into this show, we just knew that it wasn't going to be that good. And we begin with Jackie Redmond, right? As soon as you begin with Jackie Redmond, you just know that you're not in for a good show. Because I'll tell you why you know you're not in for a good show. She isn't going to be talking for The Rock or Austin, you know what I mean? Gunther just simply cannot talk. Jackie Redmond basically runs down what's happened the past few months since Gunther held the belt. And then she's like, Gunther, what is your response to what Damien has to say? And he says nothing because Gunther interrupts him. He's like, well, it means the floor is yours. Jackie, give him your mic, he needs to speak. He goes to speak, but then he hits Priest with the microphone. This guy's awful. This guy literally cannot talk, right? And see, because this guy literally cannot talk, he needs a mouthpiece. You can't just go feud to feud, promo to promo with this guy not talking, and when he does talk, it's very limited. It is honestly horrendous. Triple H is not doing a good job with this guy. I don't like Gunther. I think he sucks. I mean, I think he's alright in the ring, but who ain't in 2024? He needs a mouthpiece. They're not giving him a mouthpiece. And, you know, this just ends in a brawl. With, you know, it just sucks, man. It really just sucks. Priest manages to connect with the Razor's Edge through the announce table, but it's like, can no one see this? Like, Gunther can literally not even talk. Like, literally not even talk. Like, how bad have things become when your guy can't even do that? It's just not, it's horrific, man. I've ran out of superlatives to describe this, to be honest. But up next, we've got Bianca Belair telling Naomi that Gargle's out for a long time. We need to find a fifth member. I know guys like Kairi Sane should be. Bianca's like, no, I'm not feeling it. Naomi then floats for Bayley. So, Bayley, I touched on this in the live stream. Bayley was out there in her purple hair and wearing this like zebra coat. Oh, men have, you know, killed and built houses with their bare hands and fought dragons and fought saber-toothed tigers just to be with a woman like Bayley. Bayley is nothing special, folks. I'm sorry, man. I'm not even sorry. She's just not. I actually think this is delusional. See, Bayley, right? Am I going to come on here and say she's like a 2 out of 10? Of course I'm not. But if you honestly want to put Bayley like as a 10 out of 10, you need to get the house more. You've not seen women. Bayley is like the most 6 out of 7 out of 10, and that's at a push, man. And that isn't me burying Bayley, you know what I mean? I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying Bayley's ugly. If you're 7 out of 10, you're a fine looking woman at the end of the day. I mean, she's not a Shayna Baszler. I mean, Shayna Baszler literally I wouldn't even score her a 1. But see, this like delusion. I get it, people have types and all that stuff, but it's the amount of people that I just seen saying this about Bayley. I was like, it's just not true, man. It's just not true. So it is what it is, but you've got bickering between everyone here. It looks like Bayley is going to end up being the 5th member, but we'll move on. We then have our first match of the evening. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee with the LWO taking on the Creed brothers. Oh, Rey Mysterio, he had this match won. And then, what happened? Clark Gable, grabbed him and cost Rey the win. 1, 2, 3, boom. That team wins, and it's just like, is this match good enough to get me to tune into Monday Night Raw? Of course it ain't. I'll let you in the seat. It's just not, you know what I mean? I can come out here and pretend and greet and all that good stuff. It's just nowhere near good enough. Creed brothers win. Got a video package of what happened on SmackDown. All in. It got 72 million social media views across all platforms. I mean, it was a pretty big moment. Paul Heyman and CM Punk returning to be in Roman Reigns' team. But again, like, where's the follow-up? I mean, Punk's a Raw guy. Could you not have had Paul Heyman and Punk on Raw? Don't understand. It was then announced that Cody Rhodes would be a special guest on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Alright, Finn Balor's like, Liv, line starts behind me. I might be an LGBT advocate, brother, but you should have more five in your time, mate. I'm from County Cork. or Dublin. I don't know, County Life, whatever, brother. It's like, right, okay, we're all one big happy family. Who cares, man? Then we have the second match, Bron Breakker against Ludwig Kaiser. I mean, the match itself is alright, but geez, oh man, that spot that Bron Breakker took with the spear, he was running and Kaiser dives at the road, and I mean, he hits it chest first. Decent spot, probably one of the best spots this year that you'll see. So yeah, I'll give kudos to Bron Breakker for that. It just ends in a big brawl though between these two and Sheamus, and then Adam Pearce comes out cringy as ever. This match, it's got to be a Survivor Series, and he threw the mic up in the air and it probably came down and cracked him in his baldy dome. But it's like, in all seriousness, like what are we doing? Like what are we actually doing here? At the end of the day with these guys, don't understand it. Like, I mean, Kaiser, when I actually started to watch along, I watched a clip for last week by accident, and Kaiser was like acting all hyped, and it's just who knows. Yeah, the OG Bloodline then got an interview backstage saying we were ready to go in 5-3-4, but now we've got CM Punk, and it was then announced that Punk will have a one-to-one conversation with Roman Reigns this Friday on SmackDown. It's almost like they've seen the ratings recently. Like, Raw's been alright, but SmackDown's really nosedived, and like, right, let's just really do a lot for SmackDown. Anyway, I mean, that's a decent reason to tune into SmackDown, I guess. We then have the third match, Judgment Day versus the War Raiders for the World Tag Team Championships. The War Raiders are unlucky, but I mean, I think this is like the second title defence from the Judgment Day in like 165 days or something. I mean, that's just no good enough. Like, yeah, see, back in the day, like, it felt like the tag teams honestly defended the belts every other week. You know, and considering they're heels, like, there's easy ways to do that and not really have like definitive endings to matches. So I don't really get that, but yeah, they retain. Can we honestly be overly surprised? And then it was confirmed that next week, the beginning of December, is it what, the 2nd? Is it the 2nd of December? I think it is the 2nd of December, that Raw will be a 10-hour, Jesus Christ, a 10-year celebration show for the Judgment Day, or no, the New Day, sorry. The New Day are imploding against the Diddy Man. Anyway, folks, let's talk about the stuff that matters, and that is the Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Six don't really matter. They really don't. Karrion Kross, The Miz, and the Office Paid and leave the dressing room. Scarlett's like, yeah, you just come back 4-on-1 on me. But then, turns out, she just gets end up getting battered by the Wyatt Six. And I say the Wyatt Six, haha. Use that term loosely, my friends, because it was just Nikki Cross. Karrion Kross and tries to console her when they return. There was a message on the mirror that says, everyone has something to lose. Then Joe Testori reveals the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Why? You know what I mean? Like, why are we introducing this championship, folks? Like, seriously. It's just a championship going nowhere. A championship that no one should realistically care about. It is just a championship that is dead. Alright? One women's mid-card belt is overkill. Two? But we all knew it was going to happen. Once they announce a belt for SmackDown, they're not going to announce one for Raw. You know what I mean? And the writing's on the wall. Of course the writing's on the wall, man. And we've seen it quite clear and evident. Evidently, it is quite clear there, fella. Anyway, Solo Sikoa cuts a promo. 5 days with your War Games, 5 man, I'll see you. You acknowledge my bloodline over yours. Man, Forster Fatu, yeah. Jey Uso against Jacob Fatu on SmackDown. And we already know Jacob Fatu wins, so it's like, yeah, brilliant. It was announced that Survivor Series LA Knight will defend his United States Championship against Nakamura. It's like, you look at these pay-per-views, like, how is there going to ever be enough space? 2 IC belts and now 2 US belts. There's 4 mid-card belts alone. Then you factor in tag titles, right? It is absolutely crazy.
and then you factor in the 2 world titles, the 2 women's titles. It's just a company saturated with belts. And say what you want, right? It's like WWE. There's just so many. It's like you've got a women's title and a SmackDown Raw like women's title. It's like at least on AEW, and that's the only credit I'll give them. They've got an AEW's women's championship and a TBS championship. At least it feels different. Like Raw and SmackDown, literally just like that's the difference of the belts. I think that's pathetic, man. Anyway, fifth match: Belair versus Nia Jax. Becky Belair wins, and her and Bailey, who is apparently 10 out of 10, you would kill a million men to be with Bailey. They embrace, she's joined the team, yada yada yada. Time to give a final score rating of this show. It wasn't very good, but here, what the hell did you expect from the preview? I will give it a 2 out of 10. It wasn't the worst show I've seen from WWE, but it's just the same old, nothing exciting, nothing to get the blood pumping. So, yeah, till next time, 2 out of 10. Peace.